welcome to What Pet Should I Get? My name is Julia Batchelor. Today on the program, Claire Fordren is here from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary, and up first, of course, is Callie Milliman from the Ontario SPCA. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Of course, we have Sterling here, but before we get to him, I wanted to talk about a program, a campaign that you guys have, and it's called Got a Pet? Get a Vet.
That's right. Yes, we ran this campaign last year. It was our first year, and we found that it was hugely popular because it turns out people actually really like to talk about their vet, especially if they are happy with their vet and they want to support their vet. So it's a couple of things. First of all, of course, we want to make sure that we're encouraging people. Once you've got a pet, you do need to get a vet. Yeah. It's important to do it for obviously a couple of reasons. Emergencies happen, illness happens with your pets. You never know, they may have an accident of some kind, and you want to make sure that you're prepared. It's not to say that you need to be, going to your vet every month or anything like that, but as long as you start building that relationship right off the get-go, it's going to make things a lot easier for you when things do arise with your pet. So you just want to be prepared. And then, of course, the portion that people seem to really love is for anybody out there who has an awesome vet that you just would like to scream from the rooftops about. You can visit the website, gotapetgetavet.ca, and you can actually sort of nominate your veterinarian on there. We've had so many entries already, and the program just launched a couple of days ago. So people are giving huge shout-outs to their vet clinic. So hop on there. Again, it's gotapetgetavet.ca. And put your vet in there, shout from the rooftops, tell us why you love them, how much you love them, and all that good stuff.
Well, I know that veterinarians, like you said, people really love to talk about their vets because, your pet is a huge part of your family, and ergo, so is your vet. Yes. Because a good pet owner is taking their dog or cat, I say, to the vet at least once a year, maybe twice a year, depending on their shot series, because you have to do that, right, for their vaccinations and things. Exactly. And you get to really build a good rapport. And I know that for cats, I don't know how dogs are, but I know with my cats, a vet visit can be somewhat stressful, so a great vet can make all the difference.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and I think that learning to build that relationship early on in your pet's life, and then, of course, with your relationship with your pet, is only going to benefit you, of course, and, of course, your pet, because, it can be very stressful, same with dogs. So, they start to get to know people, of course, we know that about our pets, and so if they can start to get to know your vet, even at an early age, then it just helps keep that relationship nice and healthy, and helps keep your pet healthy too.
Now, I know on our last show, your pet tip actually was about budgeting for pets.
Yes.
And vet bills, that's one of the big ones.
It is.
So I know that when people, they get a pet from Ontario SPCA 1, they do have their first and sometimes their second round of vaccinations, and they're always fixed. So that takes a big part of the cost out. But what are we looking at on average, would you say, for a veterinary care for an animal?
I mean, whenever you're going into your vet, they do have an exam fee. And, the reason for that is they want to make sure that they're getting to know the pet. So they have to do a full examination on the pet, usually at each visit, especially if it's yearly, because a pet's health can change year to year.
And their weight.
Yeah, and their weight, exactly. So that's a great way for your vet to kind of start things off with the appointment. And there is a fee associated with that. It can vary from clinic to clinic. And then depending on what it is that you're needing to have done, if it's just a couple of shots, sort of yearly shots from your vet, it's generally not too much. If by chance you obtained your pet through another avenue that's other than one of our Ontario SPCA locations, you may be looking to get them fixed. And in that case, it is going to cost you a couple of $100s, sometimes maybe a little bit more. Again, it can vary vet clinic to vet clinic. So I say do your research. Take a look at what veterinarian clinics are in your neighborhood. Call around, see what their prices are like, and go from there. Yeah.
Well, this week, too, is, speaking of all things pets, is Emergency Preparedness Week.
Yes.
So talk to us about that.
So, talking about vets and all of that good stuff and talking about our pets' health, emergencies happen. And I don't just mean with their health and them suddenly getting sick, but I'm also talking about, in the summer, we have let's say a power outage. You remember the big power outage that happened? And sometimes you're out of power for 3, 4, 5 days, who knows? Maybe you have some sort of natural disaster disaster that takes place,
House
a
fire.
fire, a flood, something like that, whatever the case may be, you know, we always think about preparing for ourselves as humans. So, you know, we have maybe a flashlight set aside and some candles and some emergency supplies, but we forget about our pets. So, you know, if your water shuts off or something, you know, just in the same way we need to have access to water, of course, that's hugely important to our pets.
That's right.
So do you have clean water, you know, maybe a small case of water set aside somewhere in your house for an emergency? Again, not just for yourself, but for your pet. Do you have a couple of extra, you know, cans or bags of food set aside? Again, in case your power runs out or what have you, and you can't get to the store for any given period of time, you know, we want to make sure that we have these things. Is your pet on a medication? Again, you never know. Suddenly the power goes out and guess what? You can't get to the store, to your veterinarian or what have you, and your pet needs their medication. So maybe trying to have a little bit of an extra supply of that. So what we have on our website is a sort of kit, an emergency kit that you can actually put together for your pet in the same way that you would do for yourself.
Excellent. Okay, so for details, you can visit the Ontario SPCA or our website and find out all the information. Now, before we run out of time, we need to talk about Sterling, who is so adorable.
Isn't he adorable? So
Yes,
he's loving this right now. So Sterling is adorable. He's a 2-year-old sterling silver cat.
He's beautiful.
And yes, he is up for adoption. He was found as a stray. So we gave him the name Sterling. But like I say, I mean, just look at him. He is the cuddliest, most
Nicest
affectionate.
kitty.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for an affectionate, adorable cat, again, he's only 2. So, you know, we're not saying
He's a baby.
Yeah, he's still a baby.
Actually, honestly, 2 years old is a perfect age because they just get past that crazy rambunctious. They're still young, but they're no longer climbing the curtains. And look at this guy. He's a lover of laps.
He's so sweet. I just love snuggling with him, and he loves snuggling. So yeah, he's up for adoption at our center on Woodbine Avenue.
Perfect. So if you're interested in adopting Sterling, he's going to get snapped up, so you better move quick. All the information is on our website. And now is Ms. Callie Milliman with this week's pet tip.
When bringing a new pet into your home, there are a few things you might want to consider for safety precautions. Pet-proofing your home is very similar to baby-proofing your home. Things like cleaning products and hazardous chemicals should be kept in tightly closed cupboards, ensuring that electrical devices, including chargers, are not left plugged in and unattended. Makeup and other small items that could be ingested by your pet should be kept tightly in drawers or cupboards, and of course, your garbage bins. You want to make sure that they are closed and put away so that your pet does not have access to them. I'm Callie Milliman with the Ontario SPCA, and that has been this week's Pet Tip.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Claire Forndren from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
So we have a lot to talk about today.
We do.
So I wanted to actually start, I know we have Padre here looking handsome, but before we get to Padre, I wanted to talk to you about what's happening at Dogtails. Now, you guys have been bringing in different trainers, and the other week you had a very well-known trainer named Kyra Sunshine.
Kira Sundance, yeah.
Her name is right here. I apologize.
It's okay.
Kira Sundance.
Yeah.
So the purpose of bringing her in, obviously, is to get all of you guys familiar with dog training techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah. So talk to us about what are the things that you are learning that you don't feel like you've got yet? What is she bringing?
So Kira is a really well-known stunt dog performer, and she does trick training. So she actually trained the dogs on the movie Beverly Hills Chihuahua, if you've seen it.
No, but okay.
So yeah, so what she does is a lot of fun. It's not so much obedience training. It's having fun with the dogs. So she was with us for a week last week, and we were just having fun with our dogs. So we were teaching them how to play the shell game, like picking which cup the treat is hidden under, and they were balancing on balls, and, you know, everything. Like, we do a lot of very serious work at Dogtails, and sometimes it's nice to just have fun and let the dogs be dogs. And of course, these are really cute tricks that they can take on to their forever homes.
You know, well, that's an interesting thing that you said too, because you do a lot of serious training. You know, you're getting dogs from all different kinds of situations.
Yeah.
Adding that type of training to a dog's like scope of skills, that also must help maybe a dog that has, you know, been somewhat traumatized, bring out more of their playful side again, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you could really see that the dogs were enjoying it. It wasn't just our staff. The dogs were having fun, and, you know, the mental stimulation, it exhausts them too. So it was good in that sense as well.
So the things that that Kyra taught you guys while she was here, then are you now implementing that into when your dogs arrive from different shelters? Because I know they do spend some time at Dogtails before they're even ready to head back out the door for adoption. So is that something now that you guys are adding in?
Yeah, so when we have some free time, we're teaching them some fun tricks. And at our festival this summer, we're going to be doing a bit of a dog show with some of our rescue dogs.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Now, you also have, now, Amy Sadler.
Yeah.
Now, she's currently at Dogtails right now visiting?
She's with us. She's been with us this week, and she'll be with us for another week.
And she's doing Dogs Play for Life. What is that?
So she's really well known for this program. She developed it, and basically what she does is she travels all around to different shelters and helps the shelter staff introduce play groups as a way to socialize dogs that initially aren't so good with other dogs. So we've had dogs playing in the paddock this week that we never thought we would see playing with other dogs.
Oh, that's so good.
It has been, like yesterday, one of our dogs, Tank, who's a dog that was surrendered to us for serious dog aggression issues, was running around playing with one of our other dogs, and a few of our handlers were actually crying. I mean, it's been amazing. We're learning so much, so.
Well, that's incredible because, I mean, I know one of the things that we were talking about off camera is I was asking you about how much training when somebody adopts a dog. You said that Dogtails offers actually some free training. Is that correct?
Yeah, so anyone who adopts from us gets a free training session, an hour-long private session. I mean, the purpose for that is to really help them in the transition because no matter which dog you adopt, there are going to be some things that you want to work on, and we want to be there as a resource to help these families make sure that it's a perfect match and that everything works out.
Well, you had mentioned too, like you were saying, that one dog, Tank.
Yeah.
You know, I guess when he came in, he was aggressive towards other dogs, but with a little bit of time and training, now this dog seems to have turned a corner, and it's open. It's going to obviously open him up to the possibilities of more homes.
Exactly.
And you know, you were saying about when a dog travels, say, from a somewhat traumatic background, that there should be a period of time that when you assess the dog.
Absolutely.
Right? Like he or she may need a little bit more time. Like as soon as they first arrive, they're not going to be. That's not the dog that that he really is. That's not his true personality showing.
Exactly, and that's a really important message that we want out there. So when our dogs first come to us, regardless of where they're coming from, their whole world is turned upside down. I mean, it's a very stressful experience, and for the first, I would say, week, these dogs aren't themselves. So they're either kind of withdrawn and very shy, or there are, you know, heightened behavioral issues. So before we assess our dogs, we do a cooling off period so that we can let them get used to their new environment, and that's only fair to the dogs.
Yeah. Sorry. I just got totally distracted there for a second.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, I know. This dog is so cute.
Yeah.
When a dog does come in, and like, okay, you were saying dogs with aggression in particular. A dog that shows aggressive tendencies doesn't necessarily mean that the dog is destined to be an aggressive dog.
Absolutely.
And I know that's one of the big things that you guys truly believe in and work with when you get dogs like this. So how long is a dog then gets that cooling off period? Like you say, roughly a week, but if a dog is aggressive, like how much will you work with a dog to hope that he or she turns a corner?
So we start working with them pretty much right away, but we're not assessing them until they're a little more accustomed to us and to their surroundings. But literally with all of our dogs, each of our dog handlers is given 1 or 2 project dogs. So in the morning, we're just getting all of the dogs walked and having fun with them. And in the afternoon, we're working a little more one-on-one with the dogs and working through any behavior issues that they have. So, I mean, we make it lasts as long as the dog needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I know that if you find that the dog has been assessed that you may think he's not going to be adoptable, he stays at Dogtails till forever, right?
Exactly, and it's a nice life for them. The dogs have a lot of fun, so if they can't be adopted out, I don't think they're too sad about it.
Well, it's a beautiful place, so I think
Yeah.
any dog would be happy to be there. Okay, we got lots more to talk about after the break. Right now, we're going to throw to Dr. MJ Winters with this week's vet tip.
A common complaint we deal with here at the clinic are pets that have ingested plant material or toxic plants themselves. These plants are too numerous to list. Some of the more common ones are the yew tree, marijuana, and especially lilies when we think of our feline friends. Signs of ingestion can range from vomiting, diarrhea, to acting unusually quiet or lethargic. If you feel your pet has ingested some of these plants, call the Pet Poison Helpline or your regular vet for advice. And if you have any information on the plant, all the better. Your pet may well need to be hospitalised or seen at your vet for a course of treatment. But remember, prevention is better than cure. I'm Dr. MJ Winters, the 404 Emergency and Referral, and that's this week's Vet Tip.
Welcome back. With me still is Claire Forendren from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary. And before the break, we were talking about assessing dogs. And I wanted to ask you, I wanted a little update on a dog that we had on our last show, Marco. Now, Marco, for our viewers can remember, he had a little bit of a special need with his one leg, but it didn't slow him down in any way.
Not at all.
And he's a gorgeous dog. He's actually very handsome. And I love what's your photographer's name?
Jen from Gotcha Studios.
We just have to give a big shout out to her because she takes the most wonderful portraits and you allow us to use them on our website and on television. And I just want to say thank you to her for her great pictures.
She is a true talent,
Marco, so what's the status on him?
So we still have no interest in Marco, unfortunately. It's tough with disabled dogs. People, you know, see their disability and can get scared away because especially since we have 80 dogs in our kennel, they just keep walking. And it's a shame because Marco is one of the sweetest, most playful, wonderful dogs that we have with us right now. So we're hoping that it's just a matter of time, but right now he is still looking.
And I don't think don't be put off by the fact that one of his legs isn't in full use because there's so many three-legged dogs out there. And like humans, animals are really great at adapting to when they have to adapt, right?
Yeah, well, and he is literally the strongest dog in our shelter. Like when I was bringing him here for your last show.
He dragged you?
He was literally dragging me through the parking lot. Like it's crazy. So it doesn't bother him in the slightest.
Now, another update I wanted to ask you about. So we had talked about how you had one of your rescued horses, surprisingly was pregnant, and gave birth to a little baby horse, and you had a contest to name the foal. Yeah. And has a name been picked?
Yeah, so we chose a name. It was the most popular suggestion on our Facebook page. I think 500 people liked it, actually. So the name is Haven.
Haven?
Yeah, as in safe haven. So.
And they have definitely found a safe haven at Dogtails.
Yeah, so we think it's a perfect name.
Oh, that is so good. Now, this past weekend, it was National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. Yeah. And you guys participated. Obviously, you want to get the word out about what you do at Dogtails. Talk to us. You got involved with Uber. How did that happen?
Yeah, so Uber reached out to us because what they wanted to do was fill a bunch of their cars with specifically rescue dogs and drive them around the city to provide puppies on demand. So people were going crazy for these dogs. It was Dogtails and a couple other really wonderful rescues involved. And all of the proceeds, Uber is donating back to the participating shelters.
Nice.
But people were literally running up to the car, like banging on the window, yelling, "Are the puppies in there?" and taking pictures of us driving down the street. It was a riot. And got a lot of attention for our dogs. So
Yeah.
it was great.
Now, how many, you had the puppies it's from one
Yeah.
litter.
Yeah.
I think you said did this dog come from Israel?
Yeah.
And again, it's a
so-
surprise pregnancy?
Yeah, another a lot of surprise pregnancies lately. So when we took over the shelter in Israel that we've spoken about in the past, one of the first dogs that we brought to Canada was a dog named Empress. And a couple weeks after she arrived, we found out she was pregnant, and 8 weeks ago she gave birth to 8 beautiful puppies, and it's the first time we've ever had puppies at our rescue, since we're typically going for the senior dogs.
Yep.
So it's been a lot of fun, and they were celebrities for the day. So
And I imagine that they're going to be, if they're not already spoken for, they're going to be adopted
oh my
pretty
gosh,
darn quick,
people
right?
people are going crazy over them. We're
Yeah.
thinking, honestly, at this point, we're going to have to put everyone in one of our paddocks and have them fight to the death over these puppies, because we don't know how to choose.
Well, for anybody who hasn't had the opportunity to visit Dog Tales, we always say it every week, every Sunday from 11 till 4 p.m.
11 until 5.
5
Yeah.
p.m. Thank you. Open house, open to the public to come and look around. And not only, obviously, the dogs that you have for adoption, which I think right now is about 100.
Yeah, about 90 right now.
Okay, so
Lot
they
of
need people to
dogs.
come in and basically take a dog home with them.
Yeah.
But also you have the horses that live there
do.
forever.
Yeah.
And cows. We have Moo Moo and
Bambi.
which
Yeah.
were these, the profile that we did on you guys. They were just babies at the time.
Yeah.
And what's up with these guys
They're
now?
not babies anymore.
No.
They are huge, and they are loving life.
Yeah.
It's actually so cute. So they're the best of friends at this point. And the other day I was actually watching them run around, and they do this cute little like skip in the air where they click their hooves.
No way, really?
It's so cute. They're really happy cows.
Oh,
so.
you gotta have to see that.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody, if you don't know much about cows, too, cows are actually, because they're herd animals, they need a buddy.
Yeah.
And cows supposedly have best friends. So obviously Moo Moo and Bambi just by default are going to be best friends.
Oh my
but
gosh, yeah, they love each other. And they're very interested in the dogs, too. When the dogs walk by their paddock, they're running right up to the fence and mooing.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of dogs,
Yeah.
We have Padre, who has been sitting here ever so quietly and patiently.
He has been perfect.
Yeah.
today.
Now, let's talk about this perfect little dog, because he is
Yeah.
looking for a home.
He is. So Padre, we've actually had for quite a long time, several months. And he is 9 years old, so he's considered a senior. He's a boxer, and he was surrendered to us by a local couple. So they were getting divorced, and both of them were going to homes that they couldn't take him with them. So he's wonderful. He does have some problems with his back hips, so he's not a dog that you can, have as a jogging buddy.
But he's 9 too. Right?
Exactly, yeah. He's more of a couch potato. He just likes to snuggle up. So, I mean, he would be perfect for that.
And you said he's great around kids.
He's great around kids. He was raised with children, so he's lovely with kids. He's good with female dogs. Male dogs, he isn't a big fan of.
He's a bit of an alpha dog around other boys, but
He
that's
likes
okay.
to be the boss, but yeah,
Well,
no,
and he's a
great
sweetheart.
dog.
Yeah, so if you're interested in adopting Padre,
Yeah.
just visit our website, and all the details about Dog Tales is on there. And of course, go out there on Sundays. You know they're open from 11 till 5. Now, before I go, I just wanted to say to all of you out there, if you have an adoption story or a rescue story that you would like to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. We love to hear when people adopt animals that they've seen on the show, like Padre or Marco. And I wanted to share with you a quick story before we go. Now, just you want to bring up this photo. This is Alana and Lola. And Lola was found in a box outside of her mom's friend's work, abandoned with a litter on Valentine's Day. So now she's 15 years old and lives with her grandma. So that's it. So yeah, if you have an adoption story, please write in. And I just want to thank you so much, Claire, for being on the show. And of course, we'll see you next week. And we'll see you next week. From all of us here at Dog Tales, from all of us here at What Pet Should I Get? We'll see you next time.
And dog tails.
And Dog Tales.